This is the part of the mind we will be working with today. This is the part of the mind that has the pictures and the memories. This is the part of the mind that is active at night when you are sleeping, because this is the part of the mind that has images and symbols that we use in our dreams. So this is the part of the mind we will be working with today. So just for this little while that we do this today, have no problems, have no worries, time enough for that later. There will always be time enough for that later. Now I would like for you to imagine a beautiful pyramid composed entirely of white light, a very beautiful thing to see. It glows, it sparkles, it shimmers. And I want you to mentally place that white pyramid of light so that it completely encloses your body, even the underneath side of your body, so that you are completely enclosed with the beautiful pyramid of white light. This is your protection. The white light is a very powerful force. It can protect against anything. It will remain around your body the entire time that we do this. Nothing can harm you mentally or physically. You are protected. You are safe. You know it. You feel it. It is very, very good. Now I would like for you to imagine the most beautiful place in the world, what you consider to be the most beautiful place in the world, where there are no worries and no problems. It may be the forest, it may be the seashore, it may be the meadow. Whatever you consider to be beautiful and peaceful. Can you find a place like that? Can you tell me about it?
Yes, I'm out in the desert.
What does it feel like?
It feels like when I was young, like my childhood.
No worries in a place like that. Is it peaceful?
Yes, it's very beautiful.
Where there are no worries and no problems, just peace and quiet. Can you see the sky from where you are?
It's the first thing I can see.
Look up in the sky and see if you can find a big white fluffy cloud, soft and protected and comfortable and safe, drifting and floating, floating and drifting. And this cloud floats over the land and over the valleys, over the mountains, and even over the desert if it wants to, carrying you with it, soft, protected, comfortable, and safe, drifting and floating, floating and drifting over the land, over the valleys, protected and safe. And this cloud is like magic because not only can it carry you over land and valleys, it can carry you back and back and back in time, in space. I'm asking the cloud to move and carry you back and back and back in time and space to another time, another place, where there's information we would like to find to help you in the very best way that we can. The cloud is moving. It is carrying you back and back and back. We're looking for the most appropriate time and place to stop and look and examine. The most appropriate time and place to stop and look and examine. Now the cloud is slowing down. It is stopping at the most appropriate time and place. Now that the cloud has stopped at the most appropriate time and place, I want you to drift off that cloud, back down, down, down to the surface. It won't be anything sudden, just drifting like a flower or leaf gently out of a tree, back down to the surface. As you come back down, I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see below you, or the very first impression that you have as you come back down to the surface. Are you coming off the cloud yet?
A long time ago, different places, but right now, I'm behind a woman on a bicycle who is riding the bicycle through a field, and she has long stemmed flowers that she is reaching back and placing into a pack on her back.
What does the bag look like? Like the pack?
It's like a burlap bag. She is dressed proper. A very high-waisted skirt, white blouse. Her hair is coiffed nicely, and she's wearing a flat straw hat.
Is she young or old? Can you say if she's young or old?
She's young and old. Mostly, here as she's riding the bike, she is young. We're pulling into a more city area where the houses are now, and she's pulling up into the front of a small house very closely knit to the houses next to it. There's a small fence, and she's walking through and up toward the house. There's a series of steps that lead up to a small porch.
Is it a single house?
Yes,
Is there anybody? Is there anybody out there, like in the little town? Is it a town or a city?
it's very small. It's a country town. We're back in the 1800s, 1863.
1863. So can you go into the house that you went up the stairs for on the porch?
Yes,
Can you go into the house and describe the house for me?
a house is a proper house. It has furnishings that have been purchased from a store and not made by hand by the people who live here.
You don't live there?
This is my house. I live here.
Do you live with other people there?
There is an older woman.
What is her name?
Elsa.
Elsa?
Elsa.
What is she like?
She is a happy woman, a jolly woman, large, proper, but of a very pleasant disposition. We don't feel close.
You don't feel close?
This is not my mother or grandmother.
Were you maybe like an aunt or adopted maybe? Or like back then they would have people who would come and live at the homes or maybe you said that you were young. I just wonder how young you are.
I am someone who comes in to help.
What do you do there?
I run errands. I keep her company.
Hmm.
There is a bird in a pretty cage.
What color is that bird?
Many colors, mostly green. Is a parrot.
So you work there, you live there, and you don't feel close with Elsa, but are you close with Elsa? Like you were her caregiver?
It is not that I work here. It is that I come here to help. Something that I like to do. I like the bird. I feel a closeness with the bird. The bird was with me up on the cloud to begin with. More a bird species person than a bird in a cage.
So maybe, so you remember the bird with you up in the cloud, but you also were down here with the bird. So you feel a real connection with the bird.
I feel I come here mostly because the bird is here, but also because it is something that is right for me to do. And
Why is it right for you to do?
she, the older woman in the house, is alone here. Everyone knows she is alone here. So, company and checking in is something that most of the people in the area will be obliged to do. It's just the way the people are.
At that time, most of the women didn't work. Other than this, did you really do anything else?
I am not working now. It is not that I work here. It is that I come here to do what I can with the woman. It is not right for her to no longer do herself. They are not household tasks. They are errands and almost sometimes adventures.
Do you like going on those adventures?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell me about some of them?
Riding the bike into the field for the wildflowers has been one such adventure. I like going into the fields like the daylight and the sun. And the outside is
Right.
easy feeling.
Do you feel like this life is easy?
Do you want me to see the whole life?
If you'd like to. Can you tell me what you see? Or describe it to me? Or just tell me what you'd like to tell me?
Small areas are being built into larger cities.
You know where you are?
Virginia.
You know what your name is?
Coralie. Coralie Bohannon.
Bohannon?
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Yes, this is an easy life.
So you lived in Virginia. Do you know about where in Virginia?
I want to say something like Tomlinson.
Tomlinson?
Tomlinson.
Does it bother you that they're building more of the larger cities or smaller cities around you?
I am not bothered by it, but I am not appreciative of it either.
What time of year is it where you're at?
Thompsonville.
Tomlinsonville.
Maybe Thompsonville. I'm married now.
So how old are you now?
Not much older than before. 28. I'm seeing a time span between 28 and 32. I have the two children. I marry. I have the two children, one boy, one girl. They might be twins.
And how old are they?
How old are they when?
Right now. How old are they?
In a span of time right now. Do you mean when I first have the first? The boy is born first and the girl 2 years following.
What can you tell me about your son?
I can tell you I'm getting bored. The scenes are already changing. There are dragons coming in to the picture.
Okay.
At the idea of dragons, I am in the black and I see the play of light and colors, and it makes me think of the dragons.
What I want you to do is go back just a little bit right before, let's see, right before Coralie's death, because I think that's where you went.
I'm standing on the dirt. I can see the wood box I'm being buried in.
Okay, now remember that you won't have any physical, mental, emotional feelings toward this. You're just observing.
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened to Coralie?
Something like dysentery.
I'm getting that she wasn't very old.
She was 42.
Okay. You can go ahead and leave Coralie in this lifetime, and we can move away from the scene, leaving Coralie there. If you would like to go back to the void and experience that, we can do that. Or we can find another appropriate place and time that has information that you need. You are now at another place and time, a specific place that is necessary for you. Where are you?
I'm in a misty colors. Plums and pinks and soft whites.
What do you feel like physically? Is it warm or cold or just right?
There is no sensation of temperature. It is nice.
Are you still in the void?
Now I am in the misty colors.
And what is that? Is it just a place with all the, are they like pastel colors?
There are plums and pinks and whites.
Can you look around you and see if you can make your way through the mist to find anything that you might be able to describe to me?
Yes, my energy has been adjusted, and now I am coming into a sort of cartoonish area.
Like 40?
Everything looks like a cartoon. There's a girl with dark hair. She's distributing something to the butterflies and the birds and the grass.
Can you see what she might be wearing?
A blue dress, a white apron.
Kind of like Snow White. I think that's what that
Except
is.
not Snow White.
Right.
She looks like a cartoon, yes.
And is that her natural form where you are? Is that your natural form there?
This is just what I see, not who I am.
Who are you? Who are you there?
I'm a bunny.
What are you doing as a bunny?
I'm eating something that she has distributed.
Oh, I bet you feel so much love for her.
It's a happy place.
What do you see? Are you like in the woods, or where are you at?
It's close to the woods. It's in a landing by a small little body of water just before the line of trees.
And how does your body feel being a bunny?
Amazing. Have a light. Not a care in the world.
That's got to be relaxing. What is your purpose there as a bunny?
I'm having my energy adjusted. This is just a pit stop.
So being a less complex creature allows you to rest.
As does being in the colors. They are like being washed.
they're being washed away, or like you just see them and they're moving like they're being washed?
Being in them is like being washed.
Oh, I bet that feels amazing. Do you, is it like the colors are energy?
Yes.
Okay.
More than energy.
Like life. What else can you see there? It's not earth, right?
I can see a bonfire being made. Someone has arrived in the forest, and the scene is now changing from its cartoon-like appearance into that of what we would call reality.
Okay, so like 3D.
The greens have changed to a very deep dark green, and it must be night because the bonfire is being made and the colors have gone deep.
Do you still feel safe and happy?
The feeling is dramatically changed. I feel neutral.
Are you still,
Here at the fire, he's eating something off of a wood spike.
are you the bunny? Are you the, what's on the spike?
I'm observing the man is all.
Okay. I'm sure that kind of scares you a little bit, being a bunny.
No, there is no fear here. There is a mild curiosity to see what this is.
The person eating?
To see the bonfire and the activity around the bonfire.
Where did the girl go?
Do you want me to go back?
No, let's move forward. We'll stay in this timeline, but let's move forward to what you need to see from this timeline. Like what was your purpose in this timeline?
We are in a space of journeying between one place of importance and another place of importance. What I see representing this is a trained black.
Like locomotion, a locomotive train?
Yes, a black locomotive train.
What are you doing near the train?
I'm still in the forest watching the man eating at the bonfire. The idea of the train is symbolic of the place where we are being a between place on the way to the next place of importance.
Perfect. Why don't we move away from that scene and go to that next place of importance? We'll leave the bunny there to be curious and happy and safe. And you can move either forward or backwards to find that other appropriate time and place that has the information that you need. You are now in that place to get information that you need. What are you seeing?
The number 40 from the year 1940.
Where are you seeing, or where are you seeing the number?
In front of my face.
Can you describe what else you're seeing? Like, can you look at your feet and see if you have legs?
One moment. Yes. I have ladies' legs, stockings, high heel shoes, very high heel shoes.
Let's move on later in life when something of importance is happening. It could be anything. Explain that to me or describe that to me.
Well, I'm not sure why, but what I went to was my death
Okay.
in a car crash.
And how old were you?
51, 52.
Do you want to explore that death or would you like to move on?
Earth lifetimes are generally somewhat boring for me. Doesn't seem to be much of anything interesting here.
Okay.
Perhaps why I went straight to my death.
Yes. All right. I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Casey to see today. You chose to bring these 3 lives forward for her to see. Why did you choose those lifetimes?
There were 2 lifetimes brought forward, both female lifetimes. Female lifetimes are less common. Manifestations than male lifetimes. This is one reason for them being brought forth. These were also lifetimes of leisure, of freedom. There's another word that's trying to come. Of happiness and ease. These are energies very much trying to connect with Casey in the current lifetime, most specifically here at its current juncture. We are integrating these energies into the system so that they are more clearly felt, and in them being more clearly felt, more easily expressed in the current life.
What is the main purpose for the activation of Casey's skill with the crystals?
Purpose. One moment. The purpose for her is unique to that of the purpose for the activation of the skill to begin with, but the purpose for her mainly is for her to know she is not alone. There is the tendency to be bored in the earth incarnation, for there to be not enough happening of interest. And this is something that not only keeps her interest alive, but her purpose for being here activated.
What is its highest purpose?
There is a job to do. a mission to complete.
What's that job?
To bring these soul fragments of the self back together. Not just back together, but back together in a point in time.
What point in time is that?
Now. The time is now.
What does Casey need to do to be able to complete that task? Or has she already done it?
Great strides have been made. Movement toward the goal has been made.
What's the goal?
Complete reunion of the soul fragments.
So the highest purpose is to complete the unity of soul fragments.
Correct.
And that is done through energy work and through her crystals.
That is done regardless of what is being accomplished through this working with the crystals. The working with the crystals allows Casey to see what otherwise cannot be seen of this happening. It allows her, not just her, but others to see that it is a time of reintegration. It helps the others to know the process is real and is occurring in your current time.
When Casey sees through the crystals and the beings that she's seeing, who is the one whose name is Aaron? Ahren, Aaron. Can you connect with those who are like Aaron?
Arn.
Arn. I'm sorry. Arn.
I like hearing the name.
Arn.
Say it.
Arn.
The dimensional existence of Arn is one in which you may materialize and dematerialize. The natural state is what you would call a light body.
Yes. And was that Arn's natural state?
Upper sixth dimensional. Yes. As he connects with Casey in this life, he is able to manifest a body at will and does manifest a body at will and does project the image of this body through the crystal for Casey.
Is he Casey? So like at the top of all exists, her higher self. Is he Casey?
Arn and Casey are discrete individualities. They are family.
So they come from the same, they exist in the same frequency at one point in time.
The point, if you will, in which they exist as the same one,
Okay.
is beyond the human mind can measure.
Is Arn one of the main ones that manifests themselves through the crystals?
There are thousands who come through. They are all excited to come through. They are here for the reunion. There are many more guides than usual present. The closer the event of reunion, the more who are drawn in to the presence.
What is the reunion?
The reunion is the reintegration of all the soul fragments.
Yes.
The soul fragments are the lifetimes and discrete individualities of soul expression through the eons. They are scattered through their discrete points in time until the gravity is achieved to bring them all in to a singularity in a specific point in time. Through a specific point in time. You would know this specific point in time as the person called Casey. This is the job, the work being attempted. It occurs also through others. These are the ones who are drawn into Casey, who are drawn or otherwise depicted through the crystal. These are the first to come. Many hundreds, many thousands more will come. These come as she knows through the other selves present on the planet when requesting a read for themselves. The connection between a being and another being is made.
So the beings, is it like everybody has their own other being? Like you have Arn, would I have somebody?
Many soul fragments compose your whole, if this is what you mean.
Can you explain that further to me when you say many fragments complete the whole? So what I'm asking is, as Casey has Arn, does every soul that's here on the planet that would request like a depiction through the crystals with Casey, is that somebody who just comes in, or is that somebody that is with them their whole soul process?
Everyone has their own template or array of higher fractal consciousness. You have asked multiple questions, confused into a single question.
Sorry. I'm trying to communicate with you the best that I can with the information that you're giving me. So if I ask other questions, it's so I can furthermore understand your language.
Ask many questions, singular questions.
Okay. Is it appropriate for Casey at this time to work further activating her vocal channel in order to trance channel?
It is an appropriate endeavor for the lifetime. We are behind a schedule. On bringing this service forward.
What does Casey need to do to get on schedule?
She is aware of what needs to be done.
Okay. Okay. Who is the most
helpful for her? She has a dislike for the metal you call gold. It is understandable in her energy, but if she were to place this material on or nearby her, if she would work on dismantling the negative associations with the material, it would be helpful.
You can do that, work on that with her, can't you, through the subconscious?
The work from the inner realms is always taking place.
Can you fix that for her? Would you mind fixing that for her while we continue to talk?
She herself needs to dismantle her negative associations.
Okay.
She herself needs to find a piece of gold and place it on or near her. She cannot be made to do this. It is hers to do or not do, but it would be helpful to the process of opening to vocal channel were she to do this. She has a piece of gold that has been passed down to her. She has a positive association with this item. To begin wearing it would go a long way in opening the flow necessary to enter the state of trance, specifically.
Is Casey here to help me?
All are in service of the one. Yes.
I'd like to know more about the beings and the crystals.
The beings are not in the crystals.
So the beings that Casey brings through the crystals, are those the beings that watch our planet?
They are the beings connected specifically to Casey. They are at times beings associated with beings connected to Casey.
Are those same? So my daughter has had some beings show up in her vibration. Are these the same type of beings? Does she need to be afraid of them?
The question each must ask themselves in the encountering of anything is if this is a reason to love, or if this is a reason to fear. The choice is yours. There is nothing outside the self. There is nothing outside the self.
So Casey has a specific mission for this lifetime.
Casey has no mission.
Or the goal that you spoke about, I'm sorry.
Casey is the mission.
Can you explain that to me in more detail? Because we talked about the goal. So I'd like more detail in this, that about Casey being the mission.
What she has come to do. There is no space, no gap, no time between that which is and the accomplishing of that which already is. You are each designed to be that which it is you do. Do you understand?
Yes.
You do what you do because you are what you are. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be halted. It cannot be slowed down. It cannot be disrupted or ceased. It is. And because it is, it always will be.
Is God and energy the same thing? Or is it just a way that they are able to explain God through our human brain?
It could be said that the experience of God is energy. This one wants to say a wonderful intelligence and love. God itself is closer to what this one would call consciousness, beingness, presence, isness, beginningless, endless.
So would you say that you come from God?
All comes from God. Another word for God being source. Another word for source being the one, the singularity, the all.
Okay.